And welcome to Drift King of RTRiga Street for Top 32 for all the action today.
Welcome, welcome. Good morning for me. Good afternoon for everybody else, I suppose. Hope everybody's having a good day.
This is going to be a fun one.
Yeah, just qualifying was fun. So, should be a good time.
Seeing these go door to door and driving them door to door, that is great fun. I did join the practice server yesterday after the quali. Didn't see too many drivers there. Interesting. You were about to ask?
Really, not that many drivers practicing. I wonder if maybe you just missed the time zone or something. I was going to ask if you got any predictions.
Honestly, not really. I would look at the top qualifiers, of course, taking the top spots, but everything can change in tandems, as we know.
True, true.
And the nature of top 32, of course, always puts up the better drivers, the top qualifying drivers against the lower qualifying drivers. So that's going to be interesting as well.
Is that right? They're in order. I'm just looking at the bracket right now.
Oh yeah, in the Excel that we have for the top 32. You can see that the first battle is going to be Artem versus Nils, quali position 1 versus quali position 32 already. On the stream you can see the numbers next to their names, that's their qualifying positions.
Oh, I was thinking that was the car number. Okay.
No, that's their qualifying position.
Interesting, interesting. I'm gonna guess, just randomly. We'll see if I might be even close to right. I'm gonna put the podium at Ian Johnson. I like him, he's good. Andris Kleinberg and who else? I don't want to say Artem Shulkov, it's too obvious. It's too obvious.
Well, it might just be the correct guess, but I wouldn't know.
I think it might just be anybody's game with these cars.
Oh yes. Since if you're the higher qualifier, if you put in a solid lead run, then you also have to chase a lower qualifying driver, and they might not put in a very chaseable lead run to begin with, so it might be difficult to chase them.
Fair point. Yesterday I noticed a lot of cars were going at very different speeds though. I think that's going to be another thing where chasing and leading are not the same.
Oh yes. I did try the third gear setup with 4.44 diff ratio yesterday as well. It does go sideways in third, but it's for me at least it was way more difficult to control it than what I'm used to. But of course, I guess it's what I'm used to.
The drivers that I did notice were using third were just using it in some spots, like in that long sweep of an outer zone on either side. Looks like they just got the signal to pit, and we can get started.
Awesome. The first duel coming up is going to be Artem Chulkov, quali position 1 versus Nils Adamson's quali position 32. Ukraine versus Latvia. Both, no, not both E46s. Artem's driving an E36 and Nils is driving an E46.
We got right hand leading, left hand chasing.
Yes. Let you take this one for the play-by-play.
And we are off. Flicking into that first outer zone is Artem Chulkov, as Neil does fall back a little bit. He's managing to keep some proximity though, maybe a car's length. Coming into 4, he is missing the zone, but we're gonna have to sacrifice something to keep that proximity as he does catch up, surging a little bit, missing the island. Artem seems to be putting down a good lead run though. Okay, he's not that far behind. Niels is keeping it together. I think the first run's always going to be, especially the very first run of the day, just getting used to it again, you know?
Oh yeah. It's good to see that Nils, who hasn't had any previous competition participation, can hold his ground, at least in chase, against VDC and a VDM driver.
Yeah.
Going for the second run in the switch positions, good initiation, and look at the proximity on Artem. Very close, doesn't lose the ground. It's very difficult in these cars to stay close on transitions, because if you just let up the throttle, there's really very little ways you can get the ground back. Missed the entrance of the last outer zone for the lead, but Artem is still door to door with him. Nice chase.
Yeah, he was really sacrificing a lot for the proximity there, which I would think would be the way to go. Like you say, once you lose that momentum, there's not a lot you can do to get it back.
Oh yeah. And the 2 inset clips is also where you have to kind of get some more speed for that big outer zone that follows them.
Totally.
So you can't really throw too much angle at it. You have to watch what the lead car is doing. If you throw too much angle by chasing, then you're definitely not going to catch up for the big zone. And it's a unanimous win for Artem Chulkov, who moves on to top 16. Next up might be a bit more even race, since these two were basically in the positions next to one another in the quali. Daniels Bauman is a 16 and Thomas Moss from Brazil a 17 in quali.
Looks like Daniel's gonna take the lead. And we're off. Daniels Balmanis in the lead, Thomas Moss in the chase as we flick in. Thomas keeping good proximity right off the bat as he does miss the first whole zone, but he is there. Falling back a little bit over time. I'm guessing he's going to try to surge up in this next zone if he can. Yep, there it is. Good consistent angle matching. He's not right on his door, but he is staying consistent at least. Looks like Daniel's putting down a really good lead run and across the line.
The lead didn't go as wide as we've seen in qualifying.
For which part?
Drivers, for the lead, definitely could get more closer to the outer zones.
Oh, okay.
Well, let's see them switch it up in different positions. Off the starting line, starting with big flicks already. Drops the tire on initiation from Thomas, but Daniels is following him very close as well. Up, lost some ground there. makes up for it with a tighter line. Daniel's very nice in the outer zone. Very nice in the last zone as well. We can see that Chase is a little bit falling behind.
Yeah, I think he was struggling to keep that proximity, a lot of surging and then falling back. It's going to be important for a chase driver to manage their angle a little bit less than the lead, transition a little bit before.
Oh yeah, definitely. Even in the lead with these ones, you can go full power and you don't really have to worry about losing your angle, straightening out. But if you're chasing, especially if you're close up, if you have to brake a little bit, if you have to slow down a little bit, you might lose that wheel spin and you might straighten out. So that's a very careful dance of balance.
Absolutely. Yeah, especially when you have to run a smaller angle in the first place, you know. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Any braking can really hurt you.
As we know, a 3-point initiation is not allowed in the tandems, so what Thomas did there might be considered this one. I'm not really sure.
Oh, is that right?
Oh yeah, it was a points deduction in the chase, but it's not allowed to do that in the tandems.
Yeah, it's typically a forfeit for
Yeah, but we
3-point
see Thomas
initiation.
getting a unanimous win as well.
Right on.
Welcome to top 16. Next up, we're gonna have Rhythms Jakobsons with the 8th quali position versus Igor Skahunos, both Latvians. One in the E36 and the other in the E46.
Okay, we got right hand leading, left hand chasing.
I know, it's two different drivers, apparently. We're moving on with Gregor Zajvik and Enkh-Amgalan.
Ink. Okay, looks like we got the semaphone went off. I don't know if Gregor saw it or not. Somebody honked their horn at him, and we're off.
Might have been the semaphore honking.
As Enkh flicks in behind Gregor's, keeping maybe a car length of proximity, coming across 2 and then 3. Flicking in, Enkh is definitely falling behind a little bit as now he's having to surge real hard to keep up with him. Trying to manage that angle the best he can. Gregor's transitioning, ooh, definitely dropping a tire. I don't know if it was 2 tires. And just by the end of the run, it looks like Enkh finally gotten the hang of chasing him.
Yeah, but it definitely looked like he straightened out in some parts, at least once.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to say if that was because his, you know, he couldn't manage the pace of the lead driver, or...
Okay, now for switched places, let's see if he can do better in the lead.
Looks like the judge is telling him to get a little bit closer to the line. You guys should, if you're listening, keep the chat open.
Oh yeah, that's a top tip
Yeah.
for being in a competition.
Gregor said he can't see the semaphone with Enkh's headlights on.
Oh. Looks like the chase is falling a bit behind on the starting line, but teams right there anyways. Good entry for Enkh so far, and Gregor is also close. There's a little bit of separation between them going into outer zone 4. Yeah, at least a car's length. A good angle. And now at least 2 car lengths before them now. There's not too much angle in the last outer zone, and they're across the line.
Yeah, that looks like a good fast lead from Enkh.
Yeah. Either Gregor didn't want to make any big mistakes in the chase, or he just couldn't keep up. Maybe just wanted to play it safe. As we're seeing the replay of the first run now. Yeah, that's a big tire off. I don't know, maybe even 2.
It might have been 2, yeah.
Watching, yeah.
Yeah, I gotta say, I think lead to lead, I give it to Enkh.
Lead to lead, yeah, but his chase was had way more errors, I think, than Gregor's.
Right.
So probably, unless he did drop 2 tires in that outer zone 4 at the end, he should be getting this.
Do we have a makeup of the judging? Do we know what their criteria are?
I'm not exactly sure, since there wasn't an actual full briefing for this one.
Right.
There was a video of how to do the track properly.
I was just looking for a rule book or something in here. Maybe later on we can get one of the judges to chime in.
Oh yeah, and this time Gregor takes it. Another unanimous win. We haven't had a split decision yet.
And that's going to be a server reset.
Right, so we see that one of the pair that was supposed to go in this group hasn't gone yet, so I'm wondering what's going to happen there.
Yeah, Ritum's and Igor's.
Igor, yeah. While the server is getting reset, I'm reminding again that you can go to RTRiga.com to donate and help them get their beater car going. RTRiga.com. The button should be right in the middle.
Bernardo Pereira. Struggled with that one for a second. Looking real good in qualifying. Putting down some clean runs. Or practice, sorry, not qualifying.
But it's all different when you're there on the line with the driver next to you waiting for the light to go off.
right?
That's where it changes.
Yeah, the run-up's definitely going to be really important on this one. Maybe not quite as important as some other tracks with higher horsepower cars, but nonetheless, if you lose your ground, it's going to be hard to get it back from that point.
For sure, the chase driver has to be on point already since turn 1. Immediately after initiation, they have to be there.
For sure. As a chase driver, I would definitely focus on just matching the pace in the run-up and keeping the lead driver in view in front of you the whole time so you can watch exactly what he's doing, right?
Right. There's also a bit narrow right there before the initiation, so there's really not too much space. You really have to judge properly how to do your entry as a chase driver.
If you're going to do the side-by-side, definitely, yeah, and I think a lot of drivers might opt for that today.
Oh yeah.
Can be a good option on this track for sure.
We're seeing the qualifying positions and points again. Artem taking the first spot with 94, followed by Andris with a 91 and Marc finishing the top 3 with 90 points. Those are also our only 3 drivers that got higher score than a 90.
First run of this group is going to be Ian Johnson and Jakab Sandor. Both very good drivers. We're going to start with Ian Johnson on the right and Jakab on the left. And we're off. Coming down the startup, Jakab's trying to keep him side by side. Pretty good as he falls back for the inline chase. Right on his door. Looking real good in the chase position here as Ian leads him into 4. Does lose some ground there. He's going to have to try to surge up by the end of the zone. Leaving it and heading towards the island. He manages to catch his quarter panel just about there. He's surging forward, sacrificing that line for the proximity right on his door.
It's close battle for sure. Seen him switch it up now. These two definitely have some competitions behind them. Both been in DCGP. Okay, we're up the starting line. Jakab in the lead and Ian in chase. A good initiation on the first outer zone. Jakab also very close to Ian. Not losing his ground, even going through the inside clips. And keeps the same proximity all the way through. Yep, he's just there all the time. Not letting off.
Wow.
That's great.
That was a really good chase run from Ian.
Oh yeah, that's going to be a nail-biter for the judges.
Chase to chase, I definitely would give that to Ian, but you know, I'm always saying a good chase is the good lead, so lead to lead, I'm not sure.
See if your prediction of him getting to the podium comes true. This is one of the deal-breaker moments for it.
Yeah, it's single elimination here, so you lose one, you're out.
I believe that's the formula everywhere. Are there any tournaments where you lose a battle but you still keep going?
I mean, in other sports, I guess probably not in drifting.
Right.
Kind of a given.
Yeah, definitely looks like it's taking some time for the judges to decide. And
Yeah, imagine
have
we're
a
looking at that replay.
Armand's goes for Ian, Edgar's goes for Ian, and Martin's goes for Ian. Another unanimous win. See, all three judges are on the same page about every tandem today. So Ian goes to top 16. Jakab unfortunately eliminated. Next we should see Harvey Kandi and from UK and Davids Korsakovs from Latvia. Harvey's gonna start in the lead.
And we're off the line. Harvey putting in a big flick. David just doing everything he can to stay with him in the chase position, surging, sacrificing some of that angle. Is managing to stick to his door now, though. Let's see if he can stay there for the remainder of the run, transitioning really good into 6 and 7 right on his door. Yeah, it didn't start off the smoothest, but that was a pretty clean chase run.
Oh yeah, managed to get up to speed and catch him. Nice to see. That's really not easy to do.
Once you get that pace down, it's a lot easier.
Yeah, let's see Davids take the lead and Harvey take the chase. We're off the starting line. Very good proximity already from the zone 1. Although lead didn't go as far in deep as I would like to see. Oh no, and we have a crash. The first one of the night, unfortunately.
So that was the chase actually holding up the transition of the lead driver there.
Right. Both cars look exactly the same, so it's hard for me to tell after the crash this with conditions or not.
It was just a little boop right in the middle of the transition.
Bad. I hope we're not going to be seeing more of those tonight. Yeah, didn't leave him space.
I got sent a copy of the judging criteria as well. I'm looking through this.
Ah, there we go.
We have a decision.
I was looking at the judging criteria link as well. It looks like we do have a decision, and it's a unanimous for Davids. So unfortunate for Harvey. Davids gets to top 16. And next up we have Bernardo Pereira from Portugal versus Eriks Rostoks from Latvia.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping to find just like a number of how much they account to each category, you know.
Yeah. Bernardo's going to start in the lead with the E36.
And Eriks in the chase.
Falling back a little bit.
And surging into 4s. We're totally off the line for the chase, but he's sacrificing it for the proximity there. I don't know how the judges are going to look at that in particular. Keeping a really low angle to end. There's a contact pushing him off the track. Yeah. Yeah, running that low angle to stay a little bit faster can definitely run the risk of doing that.
Yeah, the initiation for the chase also didn't look too good. See about the second part of the run. Hoping for no contact here. Off the starting line. Bernardo surges up and takes a position right to Eriks' door. Going through inside clip 2 very well. 3 as well, good proximity. Very close, Eriks a bit shallow. Yeah, and Bernardo can stay in the doors for the entire run. Nice. So interesting how this is going to be judged, since basically run number 1 is an incomplete for both of them. Unfortunately, lead driver got pushed off the track, and that invalidates his run.
I'm not sure whose fault that was, though. A lot of times it's easy to blame something like that on the chase driver, but it may have been such an inconsistent run because the lead driver wasn't keeping pace. I don't know.
I think here at the replay, probably was the chase's fault, I would say. He probably tried to speed up a little bit, straightened out a bit too much, and surged forward a bit too fast, but hey, I'm just a yapper, I'm no judge.
Yeah, the speed didn't look too inconsistent. The chase driver there looks like he was struggling to go that slow.
Yes. Could be also a mix of unfortunate events that coincide one with another. That the lead driver goes a little bit on the left foot brake at the same time when the chase driver gets a bit more on throttle, and this happens. And Bernardo gets the win.
Now we got Mattis Lassus, love that guy's name, and Fredrik Locus.
They're battling to see which one's better, E36 or the E46.
Is this the first battle against each other?
Yes.
Awesome.
Good proximity after the initiation and throughout the inside clips. Now falling back a little bit. Misses the island. And some more proximity from the chase at the starting of the last outer zone, but picks it back up at the end of it.
I was struggling to find his name in the list there, my player list. Now we got Fredrik on the right in the lead, Mattis in the chase. Definitely keeping good proximity, staying right on his door, and he's on a good line too. This is looking like a really good chase run from Mattis, barely giving him room for the transition. I thought that was going to be a collision, but it's all good. Oh, just a textbook chase run here. I love to see that. Perfectly across the island. And a good lead run, not to mention also. As we come into 6th, and Mattis is pushing him across the line. Saying, let's go, buddy.
Sick. There's definitely some skid marks left on the door of the D36. That was close.
Yeah, that was nice. Love that.
Yeah, we're seeing the replay of the run 1 again. This also put up a pretty decent lead run, except missing the island. Should be good. And definitely a lot better chase from him.
but if we're going chase to chase, then have to give this one to Mattis.
Oh yeah,
Not a judge though.
best chase run that we've seen tonight.
But it was a really good lead run too, so lead to lead, I think I'd give that to Fredrik. Yeah, really
It's not
set.
an easy decision to make for the judges as well at the moment, taking the time.
Really setting the standard here for the chase runs.
Oh yeah, and let's see the result. It's a one more time.
Nice.
Yeah, it's gonna be nice seeing these two go again. I believe they're gonna do it immediately after restarting to pits, getting some fresh tires on. Yep, here they go up to the starting line.
Okay, we got Mattis in the lead, Fredrik in the chase. And we're off. Mattis zooming towards this first zone. Fredrik already, car lengths. He keeps it down to half a car by the end of the zone, but now the standard is so much higher. He's really got to be there. Now he's got the proximity. Getting on his door, saying, I can do that too. We're going to follow him across the island, see if he can stay with him through this transition, and he does. Fredrik is now locked onto his door, fully in the groove of things.
Awesome. Nice to see that after having done one duel, one versus another already, they're way more confident to be closer to him in the chase. That was a way better chase run than the first time round, and now switch positions off the line. Fredrik in the lead, Mattis in the chase. Big flick initiation from Fredrik, but Mattis is there on the door again. Doesn't let go through the inside clips and for the outer zone 4. Good angle from Fredrik. Mattis still there, keeping the angle, keeping the proximity. Nice through the island, and there's a little bit of a gap going through the going in the last outside zone. He gets it back up at the very end of it.
I did see some contact in that run in a couple places.
Probably acceptable if it doesn't throw the other driver off the line. Of course,
Yeah,
the drift is a no contact sport, but some contact is fine because the goal is to be as close as possible. A small contact can happen if you try to do that.
Absolutely, just a little rubbing, nothing too bad. But when both runs are this good, the judges are gonna have to start being more critical. You know, smaller mistakes.
Overall, a really good tandem from both of these drivers. Love to see the close proximity. We're getting another replay. Looks like they need some more things to decide on. Yeah, I think we just saw that contact right there from Mattis in the chase, rubbing the tire against the front door. Nick in the chat says that's why there's tire marks on the door and not damage. I don't think damage is enabled for this race.
Oh, is this no damage?
I think it is. I'm not sure. we have a result, and what's the result? Another one more time. No, first split decision, and the win goes to Matis Slatsis. We'll see him in the top 16. Unfortunately, I have to say bye to Fredrik. Good driving though. Really good driving though.
Absolutely, really setting the standard for the battles here. Hope to see more like that.
Oh yeah, managed to stay on those doors of the E46, even with a little bit less powered E36. Oh, Nick, you're saying, oh, Super Drift built their cars. I see. That was also end of the second group of the left side of the bracket for top 32. Now we're going to move on to the right side of the bracket.
This first one should be good. Noah Hoffman, Andris Kleinberg.
Oh yeah, I saw Noah in the practice servers yesterday, one of the rare drivers who showed up at the time when I was there.
Noah's been around forever. I'm rooting for you, buddy. You're up against quite the opponent here.
Oh yeah, the number 2 qualifier, Andris Kleinbergs from Latvia. Definitely knows his way around an E46.
They make quite the different sound as I'm listening to the track right now with one of each. Very different noise. The E46 sounds more like an engine. The E36 is more like I don't know, maybe like a lawnmower. Like a really, really fast lawnmower.
That's just a deception. Like we have some cars missing from the server, some drivers complaining. We might have another server restart, I don't know.
No slots for the E46 left-hand drive. Is there a right-hand drive also? We got 2 different versions of that car?
Yeah, both cars have a left-hand drive and a right-hand drive version of it.
Oh, cool. Cool, I didn't know that.
So whichever you prefer for any car. Nick in the YouTube chat is offended since he's an E36 owner. Definitely doesn't think it sounds like a lawnmower.
I'm sure yours doesn't, Nick. I mean, actually, I'm not sure. It very well could, right?
If you put a lawnmower engine in it, yeah, for sure.
You can just put a playing card in the spokes, and it'll sound like a real engine. It's okay.
One of my favorite Assetto Corsa mods is the Honda Racing lawnmower. But that thing doesn't sound anything like a lawnmower, and it moves way faster than one too.
Yeah, that thing's awesome. My favorite AC mod's probably the banana. You seen the banana?
No, I haven't.
It's just like a banana, literally. It's pretty fun.
Reminds me of the good old days of Need for Speed 2 or 3, where you could get a log by entering a cheat code.
Oh, and then ride the log?
Yes, and a box and a dinosaur.
Yeah.
That was a wild game.
truly was, yeah. Another good AC mod's the, is it a T52? It's just a tank with drift physics. and you can spin the turret around too. It's freaking awesome.
Oh man, I'm gonna need to go download some mods after this and try them out. It sounds fun.
There was a competition we did once in CSG a long time ago where it was just like no rules, absolutely no tech, and then competition. So everybody just brought the most ridiculous cars they could. It was fun though. Looks like we're doing a server reset.
While the server reset's going on, I will take another time to remind that you can go to RTRiga.com, help their fund their beater car, which I don't know, have the guys planned to take it on for some competition or just make some content with it. But it's definitely a good plan to get one and then see where it goes. You can see the RTRiga.com link in the YouTube chat now as well.
I'm wondering if at any point during this competition is anybody gonna figure out a pattern for practicing without running into each other.
Usually in practice servers, everybody just lines up in like 8 drivers line up on the starting line and everybody goes together.
Yeah.
With a few seconds of separation between.
And then
the
if you
two
don't
pairs.
make it, for the first line or for the first, group, you gotta wait.
Oh yeah.
Otherwise, you're gonna be coming around 4 as they're coming around 6, and they'll be a head on.
Oh
or
yeah.
one versus 6. Looks like they got the signal to pit.
Just as everybody's gone out.
Right. Looks like we still got one driver. Oh, there he pitted. Okay, first battle here. We got Andris and Noah. Andris in the lead. Noah in the chase. And we're off. Let's see if Noah can reel him in, staying right on his bumper, giving it a flick as he dives in. And he is right there, coming off outer zone 1. A bit of a gap, but that's probably a bit unavoidable. He's keeping the proximities. Andris is keeping a good, clean lead. But Noah is following it very well, transitioning into 6. Never more than half a car's length in the lead to beat that proximity. Andris is definitely going to have to be pushing him.
Oh yeah. We have of course seen a bit closer chase run from the last run of the previous group, but and we can see he's taken up a little bit further position already to make that happen, and they're off the line. A nice swing on the entry. Andris is a little bit falling back, but not too much, leaving just enough room for the transitions on the inside clips, and good proximity on the chase, also good line on the lead. Not too deep on the end of that outer zone. Andris still stays close. I would say as close as Noah stayed to him on his chase, so very similar from both drivers, I would say.
There were some parts where he was closer, but There was also some contact in outside zone 4. Looks like Andris was really surging to get to his door.
Right, I must have missed it in the cinematic camera that we have here.
Yeah, I've been running the bird's eye view camera for this track. It's been working out really good. See a lot. Next hit, I found you can go until they're about hit inside clip 2 right. That's, I think, what I would try to figure out is, for practice, you know, where can I run when this person is on the track map in a certain spot. This is another one I wouldn't mind going one more time.
Oh yeah. Would be interesting to see. After all, they did pretty similar, and the judges will have to nitpick this to find who has the advantage, if any, in any of their runs. Maybe just send them indeed to one more time to see if they're consistent with it. At the end, at least, it did look like Noah was a bit more shallow than Andris in the lead position as well. We do have a result. It's a unanimous for Andris Kleinbergs. Unfortunate for Noah. Yeah, it might be interesting to hear what the judges think about it. What was the call?
Yeah, you read my mind. I'd like to know. Next, we got Patrick Majewski and Mikołaj Polak.
It's a Polish duo.
And we're off the line. We got Mikołaj in the lead. And he's keeping a good chase here. Patrick coming into outside zone 4 he's on his door. Just took him a minute to catch up. And we're transitioning into 6. He's looking really good now. It's a really consistent lead run, but proximity is definitely there in the chase.
From my position, that Patrick straightened out in the chase for a second there.
In which part?
I fail to remember at the moment. Might have been right after the first big outer zone 4. They're off the line and switched positions with Mikołaj now in the lead, Patrick in the chase. Bit of a distance from Patrick right off the bat, but good line from Mikołaj. Gains up on the ground that he lost though. Way closer, about half car's length away. Lead fills the outer zone 4 very nice. Hits the island, another bit of separation here, but he gains the ground back up.
Wow, that was really good.
Yeah, good ending. In the replay of the first run.
I'm kind of struggling telling them apart. I have to zoom in for a second to see which driver is which.
Oh no, he straightened out right here after the inside clip 3, just before outer zone 4.
Oh yeah, look at that. He was almost looked like a connection issue or something. That was kind of weird.
Because he went immediately back on the angle after it.
Yeah, I think that might have just been him like net coding for a second. I don't think I noticed that in my camera. Sure, the judges will be looking at that in the replay. And Patrick in the lead was very clean. Definitely allowed Mikołaj to stay close.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, look at that. That might not have been a network issue. I don't know.
Might have been the thing that I mentioned at the beginning, when you're going a little bit too fast in the chase and you're trying to brake a little bit, the car just grips up and straightens out for a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, managing your speed in the chase is not easy when you only have, 200, 300 horsepower.
Oh yeah, and we got a unanimous win for Patrick. Welcome to the top 16. And the next one's also going to be interesting. We're going to have Emilis from Lithuania and Thomas Elekis from Romania. Both 46s.
46, yep. We got Emilis in the lead. Thomas in the chase. As Thomas flicks in behind him. Oh, he's way inside on that line. I guess he was trying to keep the proximity with that. That was a bit weird of a line, as now he's definitely fallen back. See if he can surge back up to him. Emilis looks rather unaffected in the lead, still putting down a good run. Ooh, that might have been some contact there, I'm not sure. Really struggling to keep pace is Tomas.
Yeah, I was struggling quite a bit in there in the chase. I've done that mistake myself a lot of times when trying to chase with these ones, going way too much on the inside, and then it's usually when I brake too much and straighten out. So props for him for not crashing into the other driver, for not straightening out, for keeping it going at least.
Yeah, and this is a track where you can always benefit from going shallow, right? In each turn, get some proximity like that. But
oh yeah. And off the line we go. Thomas starting in the lead. Good initiation. Emilis right on the door on the chase. Going through inside clip 2. Still close proximity. A bit more in on outer zone 4, but still right at the door of Thomas. Also a decent lead line from Thomas so far. Emilis is definitely closer than Thomas was in the chase, and a solid chase overall. Good run.
I think that really tells the story about why the previous run didn't go so well. Thomas was just running a different pace as Emilis.
Oh yeah.
Emilis definitely running a lot faster.
This is also where the car setup comes in. If you're running identical cars, then if you have yours set up just a bit better than your opponent,
right?
And more speed, more stability, you can just get away with stuff. We have the results screen, so we should know about the judge's decision. 2 votes for Emilis, so he's definitely moving forward, and it's a unanimous for Emilis.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that decision.
Oh yeah. And they're doing some celebratory donuts.
Love that.
Oh yeah. Okay, next up we got the last battle of this group, with Nikhil from Canada and Bruno Silva from Portugal.
Bruno Silva been around for a while. And looks like Nikhil is in the lead. Bruno is in the chase. Bruno losing a lot of ground off the run up. Let's see if he can gain it back here, maybe by sacrificing some line. Yep, he does. Staying about maybe a half's car length, which if he can stay consistent, that will be good enough. Or could be good enough, I should say, as they come across to the island. Definitely dropping a tire there is Nikhil in the lead. Bruno really getting his consistency together now. And then he's on the door. Looks like it might have just taken him a second to figure out the driving of Nikhil.
Yeah, there was some weird stuttering going on at the starting line. They probably misunderstood the The light semaphore, how that goes. That might have cost him a little bit of ground at the start. And they're up the line in switched positions. Bruno leading and Nikhil chasing. Good initiation from Bruno. Nikhil's right there next to him. Going through inside clips 2 and 3. Losing a little bit of ground from Nikhil, but getting it right back up right in the door. Now a bit of a shallower line from Bruno. Almost doesn't hit the island. You can see some separation here in the last outside zone, but he gets it back towards the end of it. Interesting run. What do you think?
I would like to know if we're prioritizing angle matching or proximity. See if we can get the judges' input on that at some point. But I think other than that, chase to chase, we got to give it to Nikhil, right?
Yeah, probably. But did see he did drop a tire just there.
Yeah, there were some mistakes too. Yeah.
Really don't envy the judges being in their positions. I just couldn't decide. I would almost say one more time, almost every time.
When I judge, I just have to break it down into numbers, because if you go by how it feels, then yeah, I could never make up my mind.
Oh yeah.
Say, oh, well he did this. Oh, but he did this. So you just gotta assign number values to different deductions.
True. A little bit shimmying from Nikhil in the chase as well, but I think so it was in the lead, so we're just trying to match it. Yeah, hard to tell.
Yeah, it's hard to see as the viewer, like the consistency of the speed too. I feel like we don't really get a sense of that, because the speed's so low overall, 20-30 miles an hour, that it's hard to tell if someone's going much slower, much faster. Nikhil said he struggled with the seeing the semaphone because of the headlights. Maybe we can figure something out for that. And the decision is a one more time. Nice.
Not a unanimous one more time, but the one more time nevertheless. Gonna see them go again.
Maybe they put down some better runs here, getting a little bit more used to each other.
Yep, let's see. As we saw in the previous one more times, drivers just get used to how the other driver drives and they're more confident.
Right.
Pushing the chases closer.
And we're gonna have Nikhil in the lead, Bruno in the chase, flicking into that first zone. Oh, we got half a car's length, but the line is looking really good, as well as the angle matching. Following him into 4, looking really good here, really consistent. And that's definitely a drop tire for Nikhil in the lead. Surging up into 6 is Bruno, and now he's pushing him across the line, saying, I think we go a little bit faster. That was a good run.
Yeah.
Minus that tire drop, not a lot of mistakes out of the lead, and pretty good proximity out of the chase.
Same tire drop as in the first run though. So didn't correct on that mistake from the last run, unfortunately. And they're off the line in switch positions. Bruno in the lead and Nikhil in the chase. Nice initiation. Something interesting going on there. Too hard to process right off the bat for me. Looks like Nikhil is still keeping good proximity all the way through. Same angle as well. Going through the island and into the last outside zone. Not too much separation. I really like the line that Bruno is putting up here at the end. Not easy to get the T36 to the end of that outer zone.
That's a good point. That looked really good through 6 and 7. I'd like to see the initiation again there.
Oh, I think we're going to see it in the replay. This is the replay of run 1, then we're going to see the replay of run 2.
Right, I'm curious as to what happened. Nikhil definitely had more proximity in the chase, but I think Bruno's chase was more consistent as for proximity.
Oh yeah. And here's that replay. Let's see. He went quite straight just before the initiation and then just, I guess, pulled the handbrake just to get into it.
Yeah, I think that was contact there that you just can't see from the TV cameras.
Yeah.
Front bumper to rear bumper contact.
Might be. That's the thing that I wasn't quite ready for when putting my head on the chopping block for the casting, that things sometimes happen too fast, faster than I can talk about them.
That's true, that's a skill. Definitely. Yeah, something that I'm definitely working on.
Incorporating the names in it is also one thing that's really not too easy to do.
And when they're all foreign names, it's pretty brutal. I at least like when a driver has like a livery that's different from the others, or a car that's different from the others, so you know you can see very clearly who's who. This is particularly hard because they're all E46s.
Oh yeah, at least these two do have their custom liveries on.
Yes, yes.
And we have a unanimous decision for Nikhil Vadekar. Congrats with the top 16, yeah. We did not get the judges' comment for the previous time when we were interested about it.
Yeah, I'd like to know why they gave that one to Nikhil. If we could just get a couple words or something in the chat maybe. What was it?
So now we're definitely getting a server restart, yes, for the next group to get in. There's enough time for a judge's comment if one is available. Or they're probably saving that for the top 16 or the top 8.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, we go.
Hey, hey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Okay,
Thank
so
you.
consistency, the line was better. Makes sense.
Right.
Thanks for that, Judge Armand. Appreciate that.
Nice to hear that. Yeah, now after hearing that, I do have to agree. After all, the tire drop wasn't too severe. It was on the very end of the outer zone 4, just for a split second, and he immediately got back into it. Didn't drag the tire all the way through the outer zone, but just on the very
I'm
exit of it.
surprised I didn't hear the mistake on initiation get mentioned for the second run. I was kind of curious about that, but we're not going to be able to have every answer or every question answered.
Right.
Right.
It might have not have been a mistake.
We're still in the
a weird initiation.
We're still in the top 32, and yeah, it could have been something that wasn't so important. Said protest. I don't understand why. Did you hear what Armin said in the voice chat just now? He was talking. If you didn't, then scroll back and listen to that. He was talking about the judge's decision. I don't know if we're doing protest or not.
Oh, I don't know too. I don't think we do.
I wouldn't imagine so, but I will say that the decision seemed at least very coherent. The judges seemed to be taking a lot into consideration.
Yes. They did point out the good in both drivers' runs.
Right.
And the mistakes of both, of course, because there surely were some. Apparently some mistakes are just more costly than other ones. Corrections all the way through.
He crashed me in the first battle. Which part? Oh, you mean in the first battle? That was one more time, so that battle had no effect on the outcome of the second battle. If that's what you're talking about. I do know the collision you're talking about, and I think that was counteracted by mistakes from both sides, just even each other out, and then we got it one more time in the next battle. I'm just speculating, I guess. You'd have to ask the guys in the Discord about anything else.
Only 4 more spots left for the top 16. The last group coming in. And we still have that one duo to go from Group 1, Rytms Jakobssons and Igor Skahunovs, that didn't go yet.
Oh yeah.
So technically 5 more spots left.
Bartek and Marc O'Rourke, that should be good. As well as Andre Hendricks. He was really good in qualifying. Excited to see his tandems. like they're getting a signal to pit. And we're going to start off with Marc O'Rourke in the lead. And Bartek in the chase, as we still got one driver that did not get the memo. There he goes to pits. Thank you. And 3, 2, 1, and we're off. With Marc O'Rourke in the lead as Bartek swoops in right behind him. So close. Oh, and there's the contact. Was absolutely scraping his door. And we're going to try to do the same thing into zone 4. Keeping the air gap there this time. Not causing contact. That's a really good proximity though. And we transition into 6. Yeah, just pushing him through, saying, I think that thing can go a little bit faster than you're going right now.
Great run. That was some really good proximity from the chase there.
Yeah, super good.
See them switch it up with Bartek in the lead and Marc in the chase. Let's see if Marc can do the same in the chase. Big initiation and way out to the outer zone, and also good proximity from the chase. Going through inside clip, still keeping the proximity there. Just a little bit of space between them. I saw a tire drop there as well. And good proximity in the last zone as well, going through. Hard for me to decide which one of them is better. I think the first chase I did like a little bit more. But of course it's all not about the chase, it's about the lead as well.
Yeah, as well as, you know, not just proximity, but some other factors. A lot of drivers have the proximity, but don't have consistent proximity, right?
Yeah. That must be a deciding factor if you can keep it consistent, the same all the way through the run. And of course, not only consistent, but close consistent.
Yeah, it really goes to show who can manage their speed in the chase. You know, surge back after you let that transition happen. Not always easy to do, especially coming like off of outer zone 1 or off of outer zone 4 when the lead driver's speeding up quite a bit. If you can not lose him right there, that's will definitely show. Could be one more time. Looks like the judges are taking their time on the decision. Love that.
Oh yeah, since it was so close, it definitely could be one more time. I would not regret seeing it.
I know Marc, yeah, Marc in the lead. No, it was Bartek in the lead, had that tire drop coming off his zone 4.
Yeah, we just saw it in the replay as well.
Yeah, that's a mistake that we've seen a lot of drivers make tonight. Very easy to make.
Yeah, but we've also seen that even though you make exactly that mistake, you can still move on and get the win.
That's true. Only going to be worth a few points of deduction for sure. Yeah, right there.
Some decent chases for both of them. It's getting quite hard to focus on the lead if the chase is that good. All you want to focus is the awesome chase that you're looking at, the door-to-door action. That's
true, and at that point you got to really start just comparing run to run, you know, lead to lead, chase to chase.
Oh yeah, that's why the judges are watching them multiple times.
The good chase does indicate, you know, a good chase driver, obviously, but it would not have been possible without the lead. So now we have to see if that good chase driver can put down a good lead run. Compare those two. It's more complicated than people think, you know.
Definitely.
The
We're
judging.
watching another replay now. So it's definitely a tough decision for this one. And we can see very decent proximity and angle matching from Bartek in this run.
Oh, and there we saw it wasn't as bad, but Marc dropped a tire in the same spot. Not as bad, but was a tire drop nonetheless.
Here we're seeing the results screen. And it's a unanimous decision for Marc O'Rourke, moving up to top 16.
Congratulations, Marc. I think I had him in my predictions. Marc's been driving for a long time. He's good. Next, we got Gusts Penka in the lead and Nick Donato in the chase. You do not want to mess with this guy. I'm sorry, that was pretty bad.
Oh, you're all right.
Goose on the right, Nick on the left. Both these drivers keeping their distance from the line. And we're... Ooh, let's see if we can get a restart.
Yeah, there was some bad contact right before initiation, but still they go.
Yeah, I think they were both wondering whether or not they should keep the run going. I don't see the judges saying anything, so... And we're transitioning across the island into 6 and 7 and pushing him across the finish line.
Yeah, what happened there on the initiation?
I am not sure. I looked over at the chat to see who was who again, and then I looked back and they were yes, somebody said lag. Very well could have been.
Going up in switch positions, Nick in the lead and Gusts in the chase. Gusts keeping a bit of a distance on initiation. Gaining some of it back up, going through inside clip 2. And on 3, still a bit of a gap, at least a car's length. Nick though, wide out in outside zone 4. Good line. And Gusts gaining a little bit of ground on the last outside zone. Yep, that was a run.
Indeed. So a lot of that's going to have to do with that mistake on the first run. Yeah, there we can see it. So did Goose swerve over in front of Nick? Or...
Hard to
oh,
tell
Nick,
it.
that's right. Nick said he had a big lag spike, so... And he was in the chase there, so that caused him to not be able to see where the lead is. Looks like the lead was awful far over into the chase's lane, though, regardless of that lag spike. I don't know if we're having the do not cross line for the lead. Yeah, there isn't one, so...
Wasn't really going straight on that right after the starting line. He was going a little bit to the right, so that definitely looked like some lag issue, most likely.
I think I'd just about call that a triple initiation on Goose's part. I mean, he was swinging really hard right out of the start line, and that's, you know, how do you chase that, right?
Yeah, that's not even allowed to do in the tandems. We already see 2 votes for Gusts and a unanimous win for Gusts. Yeah, this would probably also be interesting to hear the judges' decision on.
I guess they're trying to put that mistake on Nick?
Yeah, probably. I would like to know.
Yeah, from my perspective, it looked like Gust swinged over, but of course we can't see everything, so... get the judges to come back to that.
Yeah, probably a bit later, if at all, since we have the next drivers already on the line. Vova Sezono from Ukraine and Gustav Björnhoden from Norway. Vova is going to be in the lead and Gustav's in the chase and up the line. Nice initiation, wide. In the first zone goes Vova. Gustav right behind him. Very good proximity, but a very good line from Vova in the lead as well. This is a nice tandem that we're seeing. And going into the last outside zone, Gustav loses some ground. Gains some of it back up, but Vova, what a lead run. All the way outside on all the outer zones. That was nice to see.
Yeah, you can tell he was flying, managing to keep that outside line through every zone. As well as Gustav having to cut the line in some places to
Probably one of the better lead runs that we've seen today, I would argue.
yeah, definitely fast. As we have him flipped here, Vova in the chase, Gustav in the lead. Oh, he was a little bit too close there, it seems like, as we leave outer zone 1 early, keeping that proximity at all costs, and there is a cost as he cuts the line quite a bit, puts his front tire against that rear quarter panel here, giving him just enough room to transition, but taking his time to surge up. He's having to drop a lot of angle. Yeah, I think this might just be a case of drivers running different paces. It definitely seems like Vova was flying and Gustav maybe not so much, and that caused him to struggle in the chase. That's what it looked like to me.
Oh yeah,
There's nothing worse than having a slow lead driver and trying to hold yourself back. It's not easy, but it's a skill. So
it's also interesting that in this case it was a bit more powerful E46 in the lead that was a bit falling behind on the speed.
Is one an E36? I didn't notice.
Yeah. Vova is in the E36.
How big is the power gap on those things? Because I don't really notice it looking at them.
The E36 is a 2.8 liter and the E46 is a 3 liter. I don't really know, I'm not really sure on the horsepower side of things. But at least the engine displacement makes me think that the E36 is lacking a little bit.
They might be tuned to, you know what? I'm gonna open Content Manager and find out.
And we get the battle results screen already, so there's a decision. And it's an OMT, not a unanimous, but 2 votes for an OMT, and they're gonna go again. See, are they gonna go again immediately or after the next run?
Looks like we got 260 horsepower for both cars. Or wait, no, sorry. 227. Oh, nope. When you recalculate them, they're both 260, so they're tuned to be the same horsepower.
Right. Okay, they're going again immediately with Vova in the chase and Vova in the lead and Gustav in the chase, and another good initiation and first zone from Vova there. Gustav's keeping it close through the first zone and through the inside clips, and still keeps a good proximity through outer zone 4. Vova still putting up a really decent lead run, filling all the outside zones, all the way to the very line, to the very edge of the track. Gustav's on his score all the way through.
Giving him just enough room for transitions. I thought there was going to be contact there as we left the island into 6, but I guess not. Letting him slide by. So now we got Vova in the lead. And Gustav in the chase, sliding forward in the line as Vova's definitely dropped a tire there in zone 1, giving him just enough room for the transition, surging forward onto his door, keeping a little bit shallower of an angle, but that might just be necessary as he manages to not lose him through this section. That's something that stands out to me.
Oh,
And we're 2 tires off. Ooh, now did he do that by himself? I'm not sure.
little correction. It was Gustav in the lead this time around and Vova in the chase.
Ah, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, that's 2 tires off, but whose fault was it? I don't think I saw any contact before in the last outside zone.
I don't think so either, but I can't say for sure because they were so close.
It's immediate unanimous decision for Vova Sezonov in Ukraine, moving up to top 16, so it must have been the lead driver's error, Gustav's error, to go 2 wheels off.
Yeah, if there was no contact, then, you know, that's a pretty fatal mistake.
Exactly the same thing that I did in qualifying.
Jeez, you don't have to bring that up.
Oh, well.
Beating yourself up, huh? Now we got Andre Henriks in the chase, Dominiks in the lead. Oh, there's some pretty major contact there. Looks like he went a bit too far forward in the chase as we're picking it back up. Andre doing what he can to stay on the lead, and he's not giving him much room after what happened in outer zone 1. Definitely not going to play it safe. Just saying, screw it, we might as well stick on his door.
Some unfortunate contact there in the first outer zone.
Yeah, he just misjudged that, I think.
Yeah, I do have to say that I really like the scratched up E46 look right there. Some rust spots as well.
Yeah.
And they go again in which positions? Andre in the lead, Dominiks in the chase. Nice entry and what a proximity from Dominiks. No contact this time around, really well. Dominiks staying in the door.
Oh my
Matching the
gosh.
angle. That is so well done. Lead driver fills all the outside zones all the way to the maximum though, but Dominiks doesn't give an inch. Stays
Oh
right on
my
his door.
god. He did not need to do that.
Textbook chase.
He did not need to do that at all. He could have played it safe, but no.
He just wanted to. Yeah, it looked
those
like
transitions were so perfect. That was so good.
It looked like on the first run the chase driver smacked into the lead driver a little bit, and that caused commotion there, I would say. It looked like that in the replay. Yeah, but what a chase from Dominiks.
Yeah, did we have it the other way around?
What do you mean?
Right, it was the chase driver's mistake for that contact on initiation, right?
I would think so. It definitely looked like it.
And that was Andre into Dominiks in the chase. Yeah, that's what it looked like to me too.
Yeah.
And then Dominiks definitely could have said, okay, you know, he made that error. Now we just got to put down a run. But he just goes for an absolutely insane chase run.
Oh yeah, we're seeing it again right now. I bet it's probably not to decide the points, but just to see that run again. That was definitely the best chase I've seen tonight.
Oh yeah.
A little bit of contact there in outside zone 4 as well, but nothing critical, doesn't throw the other driver off. What a chase run.
Yeah, that was the biggest gap the whole run right there, and it was, you know, quarter of a car length for a second.
Oh yeah.
From the bird's eye view, when you could see him fall back for transition, just bumper to bumper scraping, giving him absolute bare minimum amount of room to slide by. Taking risks.
Probably wanted to put another dent in the door of the 46, seeing that that's already seen some battle with the scars, and Dominiks gets a unanimous win in this one. Congratulations, TE top 16. We got a judge joining again. Hello. Ah, right, right,
Right.
right.
Right, it was not only, yeah. Oh yeah, what a chase, right? Yeah, so I think that's a good point that not only was there contact caused there, but even if there wasn't, he was not on the not on the right line in the chase as well. He was pretty far inside.
Right. And I also see that the last spot from the from the battle that was absent from Group 1 has now been decided for Ritum's Jakobsson, so I can assume that Igor's Konuhos didn't show up. So Ritum's gets it by default, I guess.
Do we get a buy run, or does he just advance? I wonder. Probably just advances.
I don't know if he does get a buy run, but I can already see his name in the top 16 in the bracket there. Right, we're gonna be moving into top 16 now. I have no idea how soon it starts. Do we take a break after this, or do we just keep going immediately?
Man, that was one for the highlight reel though. That chase by Dominiks.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I have to clip that one. That was too good.
That was a beautiful one. It'll be interesting to see what he does in top 16 as well. Unfortunately, his is the last run of top 16 too, so it'll keep us waiting.
Yeah, I don't know, Adrift. Can't comment much more on it than the judges already have, you know.
Yeah, but it is so that you need to be at a certain speed to transition out of that first outer zone to hit the inside clip. If you go too fast, you just miss the inside clip. And
I can see where he's coming from, saying that the lead slowed too much, but from an outside perspective, at least, it didn't look like that. And
yeah,
even if he wasn't, you know, you're also on the wrong line there, as well as Dominiks putting down just a banger of a chase run. So even if we remove this contact from the equation, in my opinion, it would still appear for the scales to tip that way.
Oh yeah, then he apparently had to do that chase. It's not like he didn't have to. He definitely did have to.
Oh,
But
right.
probably in
So
his mind also wasn't sure whose fault it
might.
was. But
Yeah, he was probably worried about that, right? That's a good point.
yeah. And that mistake was probably the same amount of points deduction for both of them, so it was probably quite
Right.
even
That's what
before
the
starting the round two.
that is what Armand said, is that mistake falls on both drivers. So if we just remove it from the equation, then
Yeah.
it's the same outcome. Yep. Oh, I'm in the server by myself. I think we're taking a break. No?
Yeah. We just got a message that we're taking a 5-minute break
Okay.
and then we're going to continue with top 16.
5-minute
Just
break.
I'm gonna go get myself a fresh cup of tea, get some refreshments, everybody else as well.
I'm gonna go get a Red Bull. We'll see you guys in 5.
See you in 5.
think we're getting back into it here. What's up, everybody in the chat?
So
Ed,
what's up?
Dominiks, Nelson, Eriks. How's everybody doing?
Yeah, we got drivers already in for the first group of top 16.
Sweet.
Excel has not been updated yet, so I hope that's coming in. It will be way easier to tell who's going up against who before seeing the names pop up.
I think the drivers are starting to figure out how to practice without collisions. And as I say that, somebody had to... Oh. Yeah, never mind. Never mind.
Yeah, you can sort of get away with some things since
Right.
at the outer zone 1, you don't really take the full wide line towards that deeper
Yeah.
part of it. You have to go
So
through
you
the
can pass
inset
by
bit.
each other there, yeah.
Yeah, that happens a lot in practice servers, at least for this.
I think the important thing is just to have a pattern, whatever it is, some kind of pattern. First run's gonna be Artem Chilkov and Thomas Moss. And Artem in the lead, looks like, and Thomas in the chase. Artem in the right in the blue BMW. And we're off as Thomas keeps him in the single file initiation, maybe half a car length there, but gets rid of that gap by the end of the zone. Coming across 2 over 3 and into 4, absolutely no room there. Great chase driving, sacrificing a little bit of the line, but I think that's just about to be expected at this point. And he's absolutely on his door here, putting down a great lead run. Sorry, a great chase run. Great lead run too, though.
Oh yeah. Looked like they put up a little bit more speed than in top 32 at least. We're gonna see them switch positions. Thomas going for the lead and Artem for the chase. And they're off. Pretty big flick right after the starting line from Thomas. And 2 wheels off and contact. And they shut it down. That's unfortunate. Yeah, that was definitely too much speed from Thomas there in the lead. Immediately goes off. He might have braked there and gotten a bit rear-ended by Artem as well. Let's see.
Sending it a bit too hard in the lead is definitely very easy to do too when you've got a chase driver that gives you absolutely no room to breathe.
Oh yeah.
The pressure is very real.
I'm not sure. I don't think I saw contact there at all. Now on the replay. Watching it again. Yeah, Artem was very close on initiation. If there wasn't contact, he was just a few centimeters away from Thomas's rear.
Yeah, so I do see some contact. I just looked at the replay myself. It looks like Artem is definitely into the quarter panel of Thomas.
Right, okay.
He said that Thomas braked before initiation. I can't really speak to that much, but he did get a bump from Artem. So whether or not the Whether or not the pace was set improperly by the lead driver there would be probably the deciding factor.
Yeah, of course it also might be that he crashed in his back because Artem was just trying to match his speed. And
That's what I mean.
when Thomas went for the brakes, there was just nowhere else for Artem to go but in his rear.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's just had to put on the brakes because the D-cell was hit a little bit too hard by Thomas. Well, I'm sure the judges are looking at that.
And it's an Artem wins this one. We have one vote for an OMT, but unfortunately it wasn't one. Our first top 8 driver, Artem Chilkov. So it must have been a mistake on the lead part.
Yeah, it looks like the judges agreeing with Artem there that the braking as well as a bit of a 3-point initiation from Thomas.
Oh yeah. Who we have up next?
Oh, I was in replay the whole time. I was wondering, why aren't they going to the line? Because you're in replay. That makes sense. Up next, we got Ritum's and Gregor's. It looks like Thomas Moss chatting a protest in the chat, so I don't know how much time we're gonna put towards this.
Well, that we're on the line. But teleported back to the server, yeah, and we're watching the replay again. I guess the judges are actually looking into the protest.
Curious what the argument is there from Thomas. Maybe that he did not decel too hard there?
Hard to tell.
The thing about protests is that you gotta have a you got to bring a specific point to light, right? Because there's the events that happened that can be disputed in a protest, and then there's how the judges view those events, which can be protested less, right? You know, then it's just conjecture.
Right. Yeah, for sure you can't be just protest and then look at it again. You have to come up with some points.
You gotta say protest.
Right. Yeah.
Because this, and then give the judges something, an event that actually happened that they can reference and look back at and say, oh, you know, you're right. Otherwise, we got to look at the whole run over again and make a new decision about it. It's, you know, what can you do?
Yeah. Well, in this case, it was immediately in the first zone.
And it was it was a very short run, right? Not a lot to look at.
So it's probably very easy to spot whose mistake it was right of the initiation.
Yeah, and then it's just how the judges feel about it, right? Is that if I guess I can't speak for them, but I imagine that if the lead decelled too hard there and caused the chase to cause contact, that would be the lead's fault. If it was an acceptable decel, then that would be the chase's fault for cooking it a little bit too hard. But
yeah, and if I understand correctly, that is really not a decel zone. You do have to initiate on the speed that you want to take the outer zone 1 fully. So you shouldn't really be overcooking it and then slowing down a lot on it.
Is that right? That's not a decel.
I think so. I'm not entirely sure.
I'm not sure either. I haven't seen the track map.
We haven't really seen the trap map. And it looks like it's a Byron from Gregor. Probably Rhythms didn't show up as well. That's unfortunate. Well, Gregor gets a free pass to top 8 and gets to have some fun on the track just for free.
Yeah, gets a free little practice run here. Let's see if we'll see a 360. You got a 360, the buy run, Gregors. There it is. Yeah.
There it is.
Almost.
At least the 180, yeah.
Yeah, doing everything that BMW can. Yeah.
Well, unfortunate. So that means we had 2 no-shows for the top 32. That doesn't really happen often, does it?
No, not drivers that were here.
Yeah, I would have gladly taken their place.
Still a little bit bitter.
Okay, what do we got next up?
Got Ian
Probably
Johnson
see
in the
that
lead,
game chat.
and David Korskov's in the chase, and we're off with Ian on the right, David on the left. Ian taking a very speedy approach into this, and a little bit too speedy. Yeah, kind of hate to say I saw that coming. He was zooming off the line.
Yeah, 2 wheels off, spins out.
That's unfortunate. Let's see if something can happen to maybe force it one more time or something. It's got to be a pretty bad mistake.
Let's see them switch it up with David in the lead and Ian in the chase. Overloaded station.
Oh my gosh.
Completely. At least doesn't stall it and they keep going again. And there is some contact and they're up the track.
I think that might have been the lead. I don't know. Ian could have been trying to catch up there. He could have been zooming to catch up. I can't really.
Yeah, because Ian looked like he's on a decent chase line and he just really didn't have. Oh no, that was the first run.
So when the run is just nothing but mistakes, that's hard to judge.
Yeah. Do you think this would get an OMT?
I have no idea. At least the second run, more than Outer Zone 1 happened, I guess.
Yeah, but they didn't even get to the half of the track. So it was just the first outside zone and the 2 inside clips, and that's it.
I don't know. I think it would matter if whose fault that contact was in the second half, and if that fault falls on David, then yeah, one more time, I guess. But if that fault can at least be shared, then I would have to give it. Or sorry, yeah, one more time. But if that fault can be shared, then I would give the win to David's.
Yeah, the first run is no doubt that was the lead driver's fault on his own. There was no contact whatsoever.
Oh yeah, he was just flying out of the gate too.
Yeah, we see a unanimous decision for David's.
Yep, cool. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, but it looks like they're just trying to give her the beans. Go all in for the top 16 runs. Just try to get...
Yeah, no kidding.
Get all the way away.
This should be a good one. We got Bernardo Pereira in the lead and Mattis Lattis in the chase. Mattis right on his door like it's got a magnet to it. Just absolutely perfectly matching the angle too, as he gives him just enough room for the transition. Bernardo definitely dropping a tire there. But oh my gosh, Mattis is doing a great job in the chase. Not losing him here where a lot of drivers are through this power section in the island, we've been calling it. Oh my god, you cannot ask for more than that, and across the finish line. Great job from Mattis, who's been absolutely putting on a show today.
Yeah, also a great lead run as well. Killed all the zounds almost to the very end for Bernardo. Let's see them switch it up. Can Bernardo keep up to Matis? Off the line. A good initiation from Matis, not as deep as previously, but Bernardo also on his door, not leaving any gap between them. Good transition to the outer zone 4 and good proximity. Very similar to the first run, basically just mimicking each other's leads and chases. And on the very end of the outer zone, at the very end, and I did see some contact right there with the tire to the door. Other than that, the proximity was really nice.
Yeah, there was definitely some contact on both sides. I don't know if any of it was actually, you know, detrimental to the line, though. It might have just been some good old rubbing his race in contact.
Yeah, it did look like it made Bernardo lose a little bit of angle.
Yeah, bobble a
His
little
angle
bit.
wasn't that well matched with Mati's angle.
And it could be little mistakes like that that decide a run like this if it doesn't go one more time.
Exactly. Great job from both drivers anyways.
Yeah, that was an absolute clip right there from both drivers, definitely.
Yeah. But it might have also been that Bernardo had a better lead run and Matis had a better chase run. So it might be really difficult to wait who gets the top hand in this one. Might be a one more time.
Yeah,
Would definitely be fun to watch them go again.
Looking at the replay, it looks like ooh, that's Mattis in the lead there. Yeah, he was definitely a little bit shallow in some of the zones, but like definitely not shallow there, you know.
Oh yeah, it was at the very end of the outer zone. Let's see the results. We got the battle results screen already up, and it's a unanimous for Bernardo. Unfortunate for Matis, losing with such a great chase run.
Interesting. I know we can't get judges' input on every single run, so.
Oh yeah, but we haven't heard from them in.
I won't
top
ask
16
for
yet,
that.
I think.
But if they want to drop by and tell us why, then I wouldn't object to that.
Yeah, always welcome.
Oh, we got a server reset though.
Yeah, because that was the first part of top 16. Now we're moving to the right side of the bracket as well. We're seeing this. I'm gonna take a quick screenshot so I have an easier access to
Top 8, first part of top 8, right?
No, we still have the second part of top 16 left. We just only had the first part of top 16, but we have the first part of top 8 already decided. At least we know the drivers. 4 of the drivers who are going to participate: Artem Chulkov, Gregor Zawik, David Skorshakos, and Bernardo Pereira. They're already set for the top 8.
Oh, right, but this. Oh, okay, yeah. But the 16 on the other side has not been decided, so we'll probably start with Andris Kleinberg and Patrick Majewski.
Yeah,
both
exactly.
both veteran drivers here.
So at this pace, at least from the current scores, it still looks like your prediction might come true. They're still in the game.
I lost Ian Johnson.
Oh, right.
So that's one, but yeah, you know, another driver that that I really thought I would see in the podium was Mattis Lasses. He's been doing super good.
Yeah, Matt is just saying in the YouTube chat that he screwed up his initiation, but it's hard to chase. That dude, aggressive angle changes mid-corner. It's interesting to see that in the sim space of drifting, that you can basically get immediate feedback from the drivers themselves if they help in the chat.
Oh, right. Versus in real life, you know, they'd have to go down to have a broadcaster in pit lane and
Yeah.
talk to him. Oh, just sliding by each other in practice. Yeah, this is definitely going to be a higher level of competition here. Linus Turnquist in the chat. Why aren't you in here, Linus? Let's add this one out. Comp's going good, buddy.
Yeah, a lot of interesting moments. Good leads, good chases, some unfortunate crashes as well.
For some reason. Sure it was stated in the Discord, I just don't have it open.
Come again?
Oh, there's a server reset
Oh,
for some reason.
and be some cars missing again.
Could be, yeah. Great tandems, yeah, they've been everything I was hoping for and more. Tandems with these street cars. If anyone thinks that it'd be less exciting than pro cars because they're a lower horsepower, they'd be sorely mistaken. It's very interesting.
It's also good to see a lot of drivers who are experienced in other racing series taking a part in this.
Yeah, just not to just dominate, but to show, you know, in racing we would say a level of racecraft. So just to show a level of skill to other drivers. Hopefully, less experienced drivers can take note.
Yeah. You can also hope they popularize this type of event to their communities as well, so more people get interested in street drifting in Assetto as well, not only prospects.
Yeah, an awesome thing about street drifting is that it's a lot less of a far-off prospect to do in real life. If you're coming from just the sim, the pro cars, it's kind of hard to imagine actually having, you know, your pro car in real life. But with street, you know, it's very possible.
This is also way easier to actually learn the control of a drift car, the control of specifics of drift, the counter steering and everything.
Absolutely.
I can vouch that understanding how left foot braking works was way easier for me when trying this out.
Yeah,
and
all
we
the
have
mechanics.
Andris in the lead and Patrick in the chase in the line already, and they're off. Andris, good initiation and far out on the line, and Patrick right next to him. Really not much space between them going through the inside clips 2 and 3. And very close for Patrick, almost no space between them, rubbing the tire on Andris' door. Going through the island, still keeps the proximity, and in the last outside zone, very close. That's what we like to see, matching the angle and the speed perfectly. Awesome.
Oh my God. What a chase run.
That was great.
Smooth lead run as well, as now we're going to flip them. Patrick in the lead, Andris in the chase. Both these drivers involved in a lot of competitions outside of this, very experienced. Love to see that. And Andris just slides right into the pocket, putting his front wheel directly onto the door of Patrick as we come across inside clip 2, then 3, and eliminating that gap instantly as he's just staying stuck to his door across the island, giving him no gap through that power alley. We've seen a lot of other drivers do that. And I don't think that gap's developed more than, you know, a quarter car length that entire run.
Oh yeah, and a 360 at the end as well. That was some beautiful
God.
Great.
Just showing us how to drive right here. I love that.
I really don't envy the judges on this one. This is going to be hard to decide. Might even get an OMT just because this looked consistent from both drivers in both runs.
Yeah, I didn't see anything that, you know, really stuck out to me as a mistake. No drop tires, I don't think. Never more than, you know, yeah, quarter, half car lengths a gap. Really good angle matching. A couple of robots.
Oh yeah. Let's see, are we gonna get more replays? Do judges need more time to decide? Yep, we're watching it again.
Patrick said, I bet you won in the chat. What a good sport. I would not bet that because I have no idea who won.
Oh, same. Looks like Andris went a little bit shallow there on the lead though.
True.
But out at the very end of the last zone, and we do have a result. And it's an OMT. We're gonna see them go again.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, if we have time for any OMTs, this is the one, you know, that I want to see.
Definitely. They're going again immediately, right? Yes, it looks like. Andris starting at the lead again, and Patrick in the chase. Waiting for the light to go off. And they're off. Good initiation from Andris. Patrick right there in the doors. Same as the first run, maybe a little bit further away. And quite shallow from the lead there at the beginning of this. And I see some gap developing there. Let's see if he can chase it up. And he manages to claw it back at the very end of it. At the second part of it. Yeah, there was, I think, a bit more separation this time.
I don't know if it showed up on track cameras, but towards the end of Outer Zone 4, there was some major contact that caused that gap to develop. I would think at least the chase driver held up the lead driver there quite a bit as they're flipped. Patrick in the lead, Andris in the chase, sliding into the pocket, going back to what seems to be the default of just absolutely locking his door, giving him barely enough room for the transition there. Ooh, was that a drop tire? I'm not sure. Putting it right on the line, perfectly across the island, and falling back into that pocket. Not on his door, but it's really hard to fault him for having, you know, a foot of gap.
Oh yeah. Decent run again. Maybe not as aggressive from both of them as the first one, but still consistent. Might have been a little bit of contact there between inside clip 2 and 3. It looked like that.
See
from the replay camera.
There you could see the contact in the replay there where
I think that's exactly when the camera switched for the stream view, so I did not notice that much.
Yeah, it was hard to see. Patrick just stopped Andris from transitioning, and that caused him to get off his line a little bit.
And Marins in the chat says that Andris E46 is an illegal Wisefab angle kit. We'll see about that.
I don't know when he installed that or how he did. Definitely looks like it the way he drives. It's probably just what he means. Rolling.
Rumor has it he has a turbo too. Where he's
Yeah.
hiding
And nitrous.
it. And semi-slicks. And it looks like it's a unanimous win for Andris. Congratulations on top 8.
Yeah, I imagine that contact was the decider, at least in my eyes. It's the biggest mistake I saw. Talk about some good runs.
Finally, after seeing some early crashes in the first part of top 16, we're getting some good throughout runs. Next we have Emilis from Lithuania versus Nikhil from Canada. They're up the line. Very close in contact already before initiation, but Emilis throws it in and Nikhil is quite far off. Doesn't seem to manage, no, now he manages to get the ground back up, but it looked like it cost him some angle. Might have even be considered as a straighten out. Good from Emilis on the line, and Nikhil staying close in the last outside zone. Yeah, that contact could have been avoided at the beginning. I'm not sure who to blame it on.
Not sure whose fault that was. We've been seeing the lead drivers do a lot of, since we don't have a middle line to cross, like a lot of tracks would do, especially with pro cars. We've been seeing the lead drivers do some weird stuff, and here we're off with them switch. Nikhil in the lead, Emilis in the chase. Given a decent chase here. Ooh, and some contact, even pushing him. I don't think it held up his line though, just barely enough room for the transition as he slides back into the pocket, and some more contact, and he's 1 wheel off, 2 wheels off, yep. Manages to get back on the track. I think that's gonna, once we determine the fault, that's definitely gonna be a deciding factor as we get across the line.
Oh yeah, it's definitely not easy to keep it on the track when you go a wheel off there in the grass. It wants just to pull you out and spin you out.
Might have been the first time where we saw somebody actually go 2 wheels off and come back on the track and finish it out.
Yeah. Looks like we're going into the results screen really quickly, and Emilis gets it with a unanimous win. So it must have been a fault from Nikhil. Must have been 2 wheels off.
As well as the in the first run, the contact on initiation.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Who do we have up next? We have Marc from Ireland versus our Latvian Gusts. They're off the line, both E46s. Very close proximity before initiation, and Marc starts off very well. The Gusts right there on his door. Leaves just enough space transition between the inside clips and gaining a little bit of ground on outside zone 4, going through the island. Ground is getting taken up. Back up a little, not enough angle from the lead, I think. Probably
yeah, I was gonna say, it's easy to say that Marc is absolutely flying through this track because he is, you know, he's zooming, but I think the judges might view that as running away with that low angle. It's very hard to chase.
Right.
Now we're gonna have Gusts in the lead, Marc in the chase, and we're gonna see if Marc can actually slow down his pace a little bit to give chase to Gusts here. So he's doing a good job through outer zone 1. Gusts putting down a really clean lead run. Marc manages to suck up to his door in outer zone 4 and stays there throughout the zone. Ooh, Goose definitely dropping a tire there. We see some dirt mixed in with the smoke, transitioning into 6. Yeah, putting down a good chase run here is Marc.
Decent run, this one.
I think lead to lead, I'd have to give it to Gusts.
Yeah, I have to agree.
chase to chase, I'm not sure.
Well, we're seeing it again.
It was a wild chase in the first outer zone in the first battle.
Oh yeah.
Just barely slid in there with him. And an instant decision here from the judges. Not much replay.
Yep. Unanimous for Marc.
Okay.
Gets in top 8.
Next we got Vova Sezonov and Dominiks Bergmanis. Sorry, what'd you say?
Already starting to feel the late evening kick in. Kind of stumbling on my words a little bit here and there.
It's only 10:30 a.m. here. I'm just getting started in the day.
Oh, it's 9:37 p.m. here.
Crazy. We got Vova in the lead. Dominiks in the chase. Dominiks taking a bit of a wild line on the chase here. Definitely some network issues as well. Oh, but that was just a net code. It looks like he's still online. I don't know what to make of this, to be honest. He's off the track. He's on the track. He's on a different track. Then he's back on this track. I don't know what is going on there.
There was definitely some network issues there. He went straight from outer zone 4 at one moment and then quickly reappeared, teleported back, and it's a teleport to pits as well.
Yeah, I think the net code was giving him some issues there.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Dominiks gave us quite a run in top 32. Sad to see the internet fail him in top 16.
And latency is always a bummer in net codes because you really can't get as close as you'd like in a chase when that's happening, you know.
Right.
If you're lagging or if the lead is lagging, then you can't get nearly as close as you'd like to be because one little net code and the game decides that you made contact, you know.
Yeah, it can happen at any time with no warning. You just get a small hiccup on your connection and it's over. We're gonna see it again. There was also an interesting start of the chase line from Dominiks. Very much taking the inside for that first outer zone. In the chat saying this was a DDoS attack.
I know, I keep saying that. That's funny.
And that's going to be one more time. We're going to see
whenever somebody, whenever anybody has bad internet. Oh, it's a DDoS attack.
Yeah.
It's the hackers. It's the hackers got him. Dang.
Well, at least we're going to see if this time the same doesn't happen again. Because we already do know what Dominiks can do in the chase. Want to see him put up a good run. Vova starting in the lead, Dominiks in the chase. They're off the line. Going into the first outside zone. Very good line from Vova and Dominiks. Very close in the chase as well. Not giving any space through the inside clips. Dominiks going a little bit on the inside on the outside zone 4, but still manages to keep the proximity going and mimicking the angle almost perfectly. Car's length distance between them before going into the last outside zone, but he takes a bit more of an inside angle and manages to catch up.
And went 2 wheels off in that last section there before the finish line. It looks like the chase had pushed him off.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, that last zone got a little bit wild.
Oh, too bad.
So now we got Dominiks in the lead and Vova in the chase, I think.
Yes.
As he does the single file initiation, flicks in right behind him. Definitely some contact, not enough to stop his line though, as he's just How is he still on this line after those transitions? That makes no sense. As we come around 4 across the island, the biggest gap that there's been the whole run was right there, and it was hardly anything. Perfectly matching the angle across the finish line. That was a very solid chase run.
Beautiful. It's like Vova is learning from Dominik's run from top 32. How to put up a good chase. Looked like a decent lead from Dominiks as well, though. He's filling all the outer zones properly all the way to the end. Also dropping a tire at the end of outer zone 4, though. A very common mistake today. At the very edge of the track on the last outside zone. Yeah, but I do see what you mean. He did drop the tire on the outside. On the lead.
2 of them, yeah.
2 of them.
Yeah. At least it looks like. I thought there was. And in that area, it's I think it's pretty unlikely for the lead to do that by himself there. So since there was contact, I'd probably accredit that to the chase's fault. We don't see very many drivers
as well.
You think?
Yeah.
Could be, I suppose. Yeah.
I mean, that's what I did on my second qualifying run, so...
In the end of the zone?
Yeah, that's exactly where I put 2 wheels off the track and hit the wall at the very end. So it's definitely possible if you're trying to go very wide on the outside.
You're like, yeah, I've done it.
Yep. I've been on this track quite a lot. I think I've made all the possible mistakes that are possible in the practice as well, so... I definitely know where they're coming from.
It's all useful info for commentary, right?
Oh, yeah.
Get it that way. Like we got a decision.
Yeah, it's unanimous for Vova. Sezonov from Ukraine gets in top 8. Unfortunate for Dominiks Bergmanis.
Yeah, Dominik's been putting down some bangers today. That's too bad.
Oh, yeah.
But still a good finish for him.
Yeah, and that concludes the top 8. We have our top 8 drivers set. And we're gonna move on to top 4. No, we're done with top 18 and top 16. Now we're moving up on to top 8, yeah. Sorry about that. My maths are a bit wrong at this point.
Well, yeah. Are we though? Is that how that is?
Yeah. That was the last run of top 16. And now we got 4 boxes full for the top 8. Artem Chilko versus Gregor Ziewik.
Right, because...
versus Bernardo Pereira, Andris Klimbergs versus Emilis Valeka, and Marc versus Vova Sezonov. That's our top 8.
These are the top 8 drivers deciding the top 4 to go into the finals. It's still a little bit early for me. You know, a little bit. Numbers are hard.
Numbers are always hard.
That's true. Server reset.
It's interesting to see that we still have the qualifying positions 1, 2, and 3 still in competition. So it might be as I sort of expected them
Yeah, that's not that interesting, right? That's pretty expected.
Yeah.
Those are really good drivers.
Not only that, we also had the number 5 and number 6 and number 9 from the qualifying also being in the top 8.
Who's number 9?
Gregor.
Ah, yes, Gregor's.
Probably should just game in and call him Gregor, since it's really hard to pronounce the extra Z's in the name.
It seems plural, right? Like more than one Gregor.
Yeah.
Multiple Gregors.
But that's also a thing in Latvian that we do add an S at the end of a male name usually.
I noticed that it
Makis,
makes it
Andris.
kind of confusing, like Igors. Like, look
Yeah.
at those Igors go. You know,
Yeah.
like there's only one, so why? So I see it, you know. Where's the other Igor? It's kind of confusing.
Yeah, it's just the perk of the language, I guess.
You could call it a perk. That's one way to put it. Yeah. A lot of names like that. Your name is like that. No, it's not really.
No, my name
not-
is like that. I'm Edwards.
It's not like a... Oh, it is. That's right. Yeah. So where's the other Edward? You see my confusion?
He's inside my head, I have to say.
Okay.
We just don't talk very much to him.
Internal monologue.
Yeah.
Armands too. Yeah. Suggesting we got more than one. And our first battle of the top 8 is gonna be Artem Chulkov and Gregor's. Artem in the lead, Gregor's in the chase. And we are off. Artem absolutely zooming into this first zone. Kind of expected him to fall out of it, but he manages to stay right in the pocket. And Gregor's is right on his door, picking up all the slack that he left in the first zone. He's now got it locked in for zone 4. Coming across the island. Ooh, definitely some contact. Yep, that's going to cause him to pull back for a second. Managed to keep it together, but yeah, definitely some contact from the chase during the transition there. Held him up for a second.
Indeed, and that made him go off track. That's unfortunate to see.
Yeah.
It was very nice up until that point.
True.
Let's see them switch it up. Gregor's in the lead, Artem in the chase, off the line. A good initiation for Gregor's, but Artem is right on the door. Absolutely no space between them, going through inside clips 2 and 3. Not leaving any space between them, barely enough space to transition. Tire almost on the door. Not too much angle from Gregor's there, but Artem's still staying in the doors. Filling out all of the outside zone at the very end, but Artem still stays on his door the entire time. That was great to see. No mistakes there that I could see from the chase.
Yeah, that was pretty textbook. I can't help but think that this is going to come down to that contact.
Oh yeah, definitely. Unfortunately, since it sends Artem off the track, he doesn't get, like his lead run's basically invalidated, but that's the chase's fault, so not really his.
Yeah, it looks like the judges are making a pretty quick decision. They did take a second to verify that, though. I love to see that. And
It goes to Artem.
yeah.
So welcome to the top 4. Next up, we're gonna have Davids Korshakos versus Bernardo Pereira. Bernardo starts in the lead and Davids in the chase. And they're off. Going side to side right after the starting line. Nice initiation from Bernardo, but yeah, Davids goes quite to the inside and loses a lot of ground now. So Bernardo still puts up a really decent lead run. There's like a half a car's gap left between them now. So Davids has definitely gained some ground, but yeah, that was a big mistake at the beginning. I think there was just some contact right now, but couldn't see from the cinematic camera.
Yeah, I don't know about contact, but there was definitely 2 tires off for the lead there for a second. So in that same run, we saw Davids in the chase almost pass Bernardo in the first zone because he was so far inside. And also Bernardo dropped 2 tires off, so a lot of mistakes from both drivers here. As we switch him up, Davids in the lead, Bernardo in the chase, doing a single file initiation this time, keeping a nice safe distance, but a consistent distance as the proximity is there and the angle matching is there. Absolutely beautiful lead run, allowing him to do an absolutely beautiful chase run as well, not losing any of that proximity across the island like some other drivers have. Wow, just flawless.
Excellent. That was beautiful to see.
That was very, very good from both drivers here. And because we don't have a similar chase and lead in the first run to compare to, I'm curious how the judges are going to view this.
Oh yeah. I mean, probably they're going to view it, if I may guess, as a big mistake from Davids in the chase at the very beginning of it.
But also a big mistake from Bernardo at the end. 2 tires off even.
You're right. That's something that I didn't see from the stream camera.
So we can't really go lead versus lead, chase versus chase, you know? Interesting.
Might even be a one more time situation again.
I wouldn't mind that. Yeah.
Same. No, but it's decided for Bernardo Pereira, who moves up in top 4. So unfortunate for Davids Korshakos, gets knocked out in top 8.
Now we got Andris Kleinberg and Emilis Valeka. Andris in the lead, Emilis in the chase. This should be a good run. Emilis coming in awful wide in the chase, not necessarily side by side, as he's all the way into the door of Andris Kleinberg, letting off just enough to say, hey, you know, I'm not pushing you off the track. I'm just here to boogie, as he's giving him another little tap coming across outer zone 4, transitioning into the island and across. Emilis is doing everything he can to not give up any of that proximity, because he knows that when the roles are reversed, Andris will be doing the same thing. Beautiful. Very good lead run.
Yeah.
Very good chase run, very good lead run.
Right, let's see what they can do with the positions swapped, with Emilis in the lead and Andris in the chase. Of the starting line. Emilis initiates deep, but Andris right there on the doors immediately. A little bit of tire rubbing already before inside clip 2 and through inside clip 3, and on the door on the outside zone 4. A little bit of a gap showing up there though, but back on the door, going through the island and going through the last outside zone also, like a little bit of a gap, but still reeling it in and across the finish line right at the doors.
I will say that all those gaps that developed were direct causes from Andris just pushing him out. He would tap him out and then have to surge back up. Andris looking like the king of the surge. You're managing to close those gaps in just no time.
Those are some good runs anyways. Like, I definitely wouldn't mind see them going one more time.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Both of these drivers have the tune figured out for these cars.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't mind getting that.
Just moving differently out here. I gotta say that Emilis' chase run was a little bit cleaner in my opinion, though. There wasn't those contacts. Andris is really great at closing that proximity, but I think it can tend to cause him to be a little bit more inconsistent when you close that proximity and it ends with you contacting him, which builds some more, or takes away some proximity by pushing him out a little bit.
Yeah, and there really wasn't that much proximity from Emilis too. Like, he did put up a really good chase.
Wasn't much of a gap, you mean? Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if somebody keeps, you know, a small gap, but still has proximity the whole time, versus the other driver that's just on his door but causing some contact, I would lean towards the consistent.
Right, and then at those low speeds, if you leave a bigger gap for the lead driver to transition, you basically cannot transition at the same time. And we do see that that's going to be an OMT. Not a unanimous, but still.
One judge actually going towards Emilis.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, let's see it again. Better to go back on track with fresh tires.
Yeah, I totally agree with that decision from the judges. I would have given it one or the other.
Oh yeah.
So here we got Andris in the lead, Emilis in the chase, and Andris is off. Emilis starting side by side, but going back to single file, closing that gap instantly. I don't know if that was contact, but it sure was close. Talking about that consistent angle, he's keeping that, giving him just enough room to transition there. I don't know if that was a tire drop, I'm not sure. Andris just absolutely zooming through this track though, and Emilis making him look like he's not even going that fast. Keeping that proximity. Talk about angle matching too, that's like down to a degree.
Tasty run.
So good.
Let's see the second part of it with Emilis in the lead and Andris in the chase. He has to work wonders since Emilis really put in a solid chase run this time as well. Emilis initiates deep, but Andris right there. Going through inside clip 2 and 3, still leaving no room, and transition to the outside zone 4 right on the door.
Oh.
Tires almost rubbing one against the other. Going through the island almost leaves no room to transition inside the last outside zone. Andris is on the door of Emilis.
Oh,
there's absolutely
my
no
God.
space. Absolutely no space between them.
Wow.
That was beautiful.
Oh, I didn't know street drifting got to this high of a level with this competition
hell
here.
yeah.
That was crazy.
Mind you, Andris has been on the practice servers a lot. I've seen him there a lot of times.
Gosh,
I
I
wasn't
hope
able
so.
to keep up. I wasn't able to keep up when he went. He was just ripping through the track every time.
Bro, zooming, dude. Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
But Emilis, you know, not really showing that. You know, staying with him the whole time. Awesome.
Yeah, but this time the OMT did what OMT does best, and I really don't think I could pinpoint any errors from any of them in any of the runs. So this is going to be a really hard one to judge for the judges as well.
Definitely not any big errors. It's going to come down to little errors as well as just the overall consistency of the different factors.
Yeah, of the lead run, how deep were they in their leads, of their angle matching.
Right, you know, was the line consistent through here? Was the proximity, was the angle consistent? Definitely something that Emilis did great was the angle matching. I noticed when you look at any given point through a corner, he was just flawlessly matched in that angle.
Yeah, and we see a split decision, 2 for Andris and 1 for Emilis. So congrats for Andris to making it into top 4.
I bet they wanted to go one more time.
Oh, I bet.
Too.
I wouldn't mind if they went 3 more times even, but I guess We all have to sleep at some point. We can't watch them all night.
And then both giving a GG's in the chat. Awesome. And we got Marco Rourke in the lead. Vova Seznov in the chase on the left. Doing a front wheel to rear wheel transition here. Or sorry, initiation side by side. A little bit of tap there. Coming into 2 and 3. Another tap in the same spot. Just absolutely bullying him with those front tires against the rears there as we come into the island. Okay, looking a little bit better here in the chase, more consistent. Oh, there's that tap again.
Yeah, another great run.
Yeah, we're getting into where these drivers can all chase very well. It's become clear.
Oh, yeah. Practice on the track gets more and more. And they're already off the line with Vova in the lead and Marc in the chase this time around. Great initiation, and Marc immediately on the side there. Vova fills the outside zone fully, but Marc doesn't let go. And right on the doors in outside zone 4. There, I believe there was some contact, and Vova is off the track with 2 wheels. Almost slips out, but they keep it going. And going in the last outside zone, also very good. Very good position from Marc. Almost no gap between them at all. But yeah, there was contact, and there was an off track.
From my view, I've been watching this from the bird's eye view, looking down at this track. It looks like Marc just kind of pushed him off there. I don't know if there was a decel from the lead, but in that spot, I kind of doubt it. Looks like he was just going for a little bit too much proximity.
Right. Oh, well, that's really unfortunate. Then it probably would have to go to Vova.
I don't think there's anything else that could counteract a mistake like that, as long as that mistake is given to Marc. That would take out one of my predictions, too.
Oh yeah, then only Artem would be remaining, I guess.
My very lazy predictions of just the top 3 qualifiers.
Well, that was my prediction as well, sort of. Although I didn't name it. And it's a unanimous decision for Vova Sezonov. So welcoming him in the top 4. Yeah, really unfortunate to see off tracks and contacts that lead to off tracks in top 8 in this stage of competition already. You want to see good runs here.
Yeah, that's just the cost of keeping that proximity, right?
Right.
Rather have those than have drivers playing it safe, I will say. Now we got Artem Chulkov, who just ran a second ago, I think. I suppose we're getting down towards the end of the bracket. Artem Chulkov in the lead, and Bernardo Pereira in the chase.
This is already top 4. This is the first run of top 4.
Yes.
Good initiation. It's right on the door. Through inside clips 1 and 2 and not leaving any space. Good proximity there. The lead car is right on the outer zone as well. Oh, that was an interesting transition. He didn't leave any space for it, so he had to back off and gain the ground back up. Overall, very well. I think we sort of missed top 4 starting, so... yeah.
I was going to say, I think we're unaligned for a second. It seemed like...
yeah.
something going on there with the Discord or something.
No, they just started immediately.
Oh, gotcha. Now Bernardo in the lead. Artem in the chase. Artem doing a pretty flawless chase as he absolutely sticks to his door, then falls back for the transitions into 2 and 3 and does the same thing into 4. It really doesn't get much better than that.
Oh, yeah.
Bernard coming across the island here and Artem following him, saying, whatever you do, I can do the same exact thing. Oh my gosh. Just bullying him across the line.
absolutely side to side at the end there, and basically throughout the entire track. That was just beautiful chase run from Bernardo.
That last run was Artem in the chase, right?
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I'm just watching the replay and I'm...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The evening's getting to me already.
Yeah, I think the chat's getting tired too. It's starting to make less and less sense. Artem just got too much corrections. I did see a few corrections in the chase too, but that's something you sacrifice when you keep that proximity, in my opinion. And it does come off as inconsistent, yeah. You just gotta weigh out, you know, is it worth absolutely getting his door if I have to bump him a little bit, make some adjustments.
Yeah, but what a chase run from Artem.
For real.
Absolutely side by side. Iago says this should be OMT. It might as well be an OMT.
I wouldn't mind that.
Nope, not at all.
I think we've seen the same thing play out for a few runs here, where it's like one driver can just get doors, but is a little bit more inconsistent, and another driver might have a gap, but does a really good job ankle matching.
What happens in this case, since one judge goes Bernardo, the other goes at Artem? No, not Artem, but I'm messing it up already.
That comes out as a OMT. If there's no OMT, one way, another way, that's generally just comes out as an OMT.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that before in anywhere.
It's pretty rare for the judges to all disagree like that. So we got Artem in the lead now, Bernardo in the chase. Bernardo's sliding into this pocket with this good angle matching that we've been talking about. Keeping that proximity, just enough room for the transition, but not causing any contact, doing a flawless job in the chase. Wow, he's just right there, and oh, that was some contact on the transition across the island there. Not letting it stop him though. As we come across the line, that was a pretty big mistake though. Up until then, it was close to flawless, so it's definitely going to be something the judges think about.
Oh yeah, it's a rare double E36 battle as they go again. Bernardo in the lead this time, Artem in the chase. Good initiation, maybe a wheel off even, but Artem stays on the door immediately as they go through inside clips 2 and 3, and Artem doesn't let go at all. Bernardo is right on the line there, but Artem sticks it like there's no tomorrow. A little bit of a gap developing there, but Artem immediately claws it back as they go through the last outside zone and across the line door to door.
Yeah, that mistake in the chase for Bernardo is definitely going to cost him, but I will say that Bernardo's chases, except for the one contact on transition, right, didn't have the same contacts that Artem's did. When Bernardo could stick to the door without bumping him, and
Right.
Artem consistently was actually hitting him throughout the run. Not enough to throw him off the line, but enough to give him some pressure, and probably enough to cause some deductions. But I don't think it'll outweigh that mistake Bernardo made.
Yeah, let's see
We'll see.
on runs this close. Probably also useful to get the judge's opinion this late in the competition already.
Oh, absolutely, especially if this goes an unexpected way. Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's a lot on the line at this stage, for sure.
got our judges putting up the results board here. Left for Artem, and it's going towards Artem. Yeah, I think that mistake from Bernardo cost him dearly.
Yeah, it must have been that.
Talk about a close battle, though. Man, that was awesome.
Oh yeah. Want to rewatch later, definitely. Clip it and ship it. Rate to your socials.
And that was for third place, right?
I'm not even
Or no,
sure.
no, this is for third place. I don't know. I'm bad at math. Anyway, Andris in the lead. Vova in the chase. Vova leaving a little bit of a gap. Andris doing a really smooth chase run though, and oh, I thought that was going to be contact for sure, as it is contact after transition, but not during transition. Keeping the proximity, coming across the island. As Vova closes all that gap that he had, now actually hitting his door across the line.
Interesting run here as well.
Taking big risks was Vova in the chase. That's just what you're gonna have to do.
Oh yeah. This late in the competition, you better give it all as they switch it up. Vova going in the lead, Andris in the chase. Vova initiates wide, but Andris right there on the doors as well, not losing an inch. Going through inside clips 2 and 3. Staying right next to him, going through outside zone 4. There might have been a tire drop that I just see the car wobble a little bit. Going through the island as Andris is still on the door, not losing anything. And another tire drop, I believe, from Vova. Andris remains on the door the entire run. Would you say there was a tire drop? I think I did see at least one there.
Yeah, I saw the smoke turn brown for a second. Usually means that they hit some dirt.
I'm more looking at the car bump a little bit, the rear end bumps a little bit. That tells me it's gone off track.
Pedro asked what mistake in the last run. If you're talking about what I said in the last run, it was contact during transition. I don't know if it was as clear on the TV cams.
And we're watching it again. Yeah, so this is our top 4. And the winners of the top 4 go to the final, and the losers of top 4 go to the third place battle.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is for a place in the final. For the other place in the final, and it goes to Andris Kleinbergs. Good job.
Nelson's, I think what you meant to say is that when Chuck Norris goes to bed, he checks under the bed for Andris. Wait, no, that's not right. How did that joke go?
I think it did went like that, but yeah, I'm reading that
something.
I don't really understand at the moment
It's
as
like
well.
the punchline of the joke is that the monster under the bed is Chuck Norris. I don't know.
Yeah, but I guess this time he meant it in reverse. And this is our battle for the third place. Bernardo Pereira in the lead and Vova Sezonov in the chase as they're off already. Good initiation for Bernardo. Going through. Vova sticking it right to the doors, not giving any space at all. Going through outside zone 4. Really good proximity and angle. A bit mismatched angle, but he claws it back as well. Going through the last outside zone, right to the door. Could have done a bit closer, but it's good nevertheless.
Yeah, there's definitely something to be said for playing the consistent angle matching not causing contact route versus keeping the proximity. Either can pay off. And we got Bernardo in the lead now. Vova in the chase. Great chase there through OZ1, coming across 2 and 3 into 4. Great angle matching as they look like the same car. A little bit of contact in the 4 there. He's not going to let him slow him down as they transition into 6. Front wheel against rear wheel. Absolutely doors. Just doors.
Yeah, it was Vova in the lead and Bernardo in the chase in this one.
I thought I got that backwards. Yeah.
Yeah, it happens to the best of us. As we're seeing the replay from the first run. Yeah, judges definitely will have to put in some work for this one as well, since it was 2 good runs. Some minor mistakes, so they just have to decide which way to sway for this one.
So that last one was Bernardo in the chase, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so I did see some contacts from him in the chase. But I think there was 1 or 2 as well when Vova was in the chase, so can't say that was a unique thing for him.
Yep, tiny mistakes, tiny contacts for both drivers in both runs. From my position where I stand, really hard to decide who comes out on top on this one.
Track cams on this track in particular, just because of their placement too, it is really hard to see contacts. They're all pretty low to the ground.
And not all contacts have a big impact on the run anyways.
Yeah, that's a good point, yeah.
As we see the results screen, do we have a 3rd place? No, we have an OMT. They're gonna go again for the 3rd place. I don't mind that at all. We only have this and the final battle left, so...
I agree, I cannot wait for the final either.
Oh yeah,
but this will be good too.
Yep. It's interesting to see 2 E36s at least. At least one of them is going to be on the podium.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that I don't think they're that different of cars.
Yeah.
Now we got Bernardo in the lead, Vova in the chase in a one more time battle as we finish 1 across 2 and 3. Great angle matching, definitely some serious contact there. Yeah, that's gonna throw him off his line a little bit. Let's see if we can get it back together. As some more contact there. 1 more time before the finish. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a bit unfortunate. Might have even been straightened out from the chase right after this contact.
The cost of being aggressive, right?
Yes, you have to go for that in the battle for top 3 now as we switch up with Vova in the lead and Bernardo in the chase. Good initiation and Bernardo right on the doors right after initiation. As they go through inside flips 2 and 3, there's a little gap developing, but Bernardo immediately gets it back. Good line for the lead. Deep in the island for Vova. And I think that's 2 wheels off for Vova there in the lead in that last outside zone.
I don't know, they'll have to... It was close. I'm not sure.
It was definitely at least 1 wheel off. I don't know if it was 2. I don't see it from my perspective, but it might have been 2. He looked too far out, at least from that camera.
I think that contact was still the biggest mistake, so they'll have to weigh that against the wheels off. Or no, that'd be from the same driver, both those mistakes. So
right. It's very likely that Third place goes to Portugal on this one, but we'll see.
Goes to who?
Portugal. Bernardo Pereira is a Portuguese driver.
Bro, I was like, who the heck are you talking about? It's like, bro must
I'm
be
sorry.
tired, dude. No, yeah, you're
No,
right.
no.
Yeah.
Well, a full day's work and then full top 32 of casting definitely takes a toll on me being tired, but yeah.
No, definitely. It's funny. It's always everybody tired at the end of a competition for different reasons. For me, it's always in the morning. It's always like a Monday or Tuesday morning.
Oh yeah. Drivers also must be getting a little bit tired.
Oh,
Since most of their time in the competition is just spent waiting for their run.
You
can see
gotta be prepared, be ready all the time. Yeah.
Oh yeah. As we're seeing the battle results screen, it's a unanimous for Bernardo Pereira. Congratulations with the third place. So those mistakes from Vova must have cost him the podium.
Bringing home the win for Portugal. Let's go.
Oh yeah. As he celebrates it with some donuts on the track.
W's in the chat for Portugal. Portugal the driver. Get it?
Portugal the country, not the driver.
Like Portugal the man, the band. Stupid joke.
Okay, and now we go up to the final. Who's going to be top one? It's going to be Artem Chulkov in the lead or Andris Kleinbergs in the chase as they're already up the starting line. Artem initiates very deep in the first zone as Andris is almost on his door the entire way. They're through inside clips 3 and 4 and Andris doesn't let go of the gas even though Artem fills the outside zone very well. Andris still remains as close to him as possible and slows down a little bit on the chase there. Andris loses some angle but finishes the last outer zone in one piece and sideways. How do you like that one?
I did see some contact, some major contact.
Yeah.
In outer zone 4, Andris held up Artem in the lead for a second. Now we got Artem in the lead, Andris in the chase. Oh, Andris in the lead, sorry. Absolutely sticking to his door though, and angle matching perfectly. And there he manages to just avoid the contact as there's literally no gap. Coming across that island, switching into outer zone 6, he is right there with him. I don't know if you call it contact if it's through the entire zone.
Might be just some gentle tire rubbing.
Just fusing into one car at this point.
Oh yeah. Good run for the final though. It would be real unfortunate to see some big crash or something happen at the very last run of the night.
Oh, totally.
Let's see. Yeah, but it looks like there was a bit of a mistake from Andris in the last outside zone in the chase. And we see that the semaphore has also moved up in front of the drivers as well. Does that mean we have a final score? Do we have a winner? Not yet, as we're watching the replay again. Really nice proximity there from Artem at the beginning of that run.
Yeah, no kidding.
And here as well. It's just, I couldn't even see a gap between them. Nelson's in the chat saying go MT. I wouldn't mind at all. Just squeeze the last out of these drivers, see what they can do. And we have a decision. It's a unanimous victory for Artem Chilkov. Takes the first place of this tournament. Congratulations, Artem, bringing back the victory to Ukraine.
Let's see if we can get the judge in here for just some comments on that.
Oh yeah,
That decision there.
That would be great, at least for the final line.
Doing the wheel-to-wheel donuts. Freeway donuts, awesome. Semaphone getting in on the donuts.
Marans in the chat says Andris lost because he felt like it.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, we can see all of them going for a victory lap, victory tandem train.
Keeping the proximity in the three-man tandem. Coming into four, just fused into one car. One long E36, E46. Call it an E40.
It's an E46 sandwich with two E36s on the outside.
Is that right? I don't know the math on that, but it's like an E39 or something like that. E42.
No, E39 is the 5 Series.
Oh, it's already a car? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, look at those perfect donuts now, though.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah, congratulations to Artem Chilkov getting the first place again. Andris Kleinbergs with the second, and Bernardo Pereira with the third. This was a really, really great race. Loved watching it.
Do we have a podium that we can get some pictures for the drivers?
Yeah,
there
we do.
is. There's a podium over by the pits, guys.
Oh yeah, they're probably heading there now after their celebratory donuts. Nice, and these are your winners. Once again, number 1, Artem Chilkov from Ukraine. Number 2, Andris Kleinbergs from Latvia. And number 3, Bernardo Pereira from Portugal. Congrats to all the drivers. So with this one done, I really hope we're gonna see this turn into an actual season of races. It would definitely be fun to see these kind of cars go in for an actual competition season.
Yeah, and I think everybody's down for that, right? I've seen a lot of people suggest it. I'm definitely down for it. You know, I'll be here.
Oh yeah. I'll definitely try to take part in this as well, if it does happen. If it doesn't, I'm at least happy that this track and these cars are in a part of my library. We'll definitely come back to it just for some low horsepower fun. And once
Yeah,
again,
talk
also...
about...
Yeah,
oh, sorry,
please
go ahead. Oh, I was just going to say that this is really showing that, you know, the street cars can be just as exciting as the pro cars, maybe even in a different way, you know?
Absolutely. You definitely have to push them to the limit.
Right.
It's not like you can just let off throttle for like half the turn and then get back on it because you've gone in too fast. You do have to go too fast almost, and then see if you need to either let a little bit off or do some left foot braking or something. But yeah, as a last reminder, if you want to help RTRiga get their beater car going, visit rtriga.com and press the donation button. That would be much appreciated. Nelson's in the chat asking for the next track already, so we can see that people are already ready to find out if this is going to turn into a season and to join for the next ones.
Yeah, guys, just hop in the Discord and make sure you're a part of the next one, because it's been a blast.
Yes. Definitely join the RTRiga Discord. I'm pretty sure you can find a link for that in the description down below, as well as all their social channels, the Instagram, the YouTube where you're on, the TikTok, the Facebook, the Twitch.
All of that.
Yeah, the info is going to be in any of them and in the Discord.
And with that, I think that's going to finish this one out. Congrats to our top 3. Thanks for hanging out, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for being here. Thanks for bearing with me on my first commentating
Oh, you did a great job, dude. Thanks for hanging out, man. And I'm gonna get about my day here. You can get to bed. Good night, guys.
See you around. Bye.